Hello.
Hi.
Hey, we have a beautiful shoey bird, in fact.
Is there such a thing? A shoey bird?
A booty bird? Oh, no, that sounds terrible, doesn't it?
What did you just say, Debbie?
A booty bird.
Oh, no. It's not my best asset, unfortunately.
Yeah, that us.
Welcome,
Debbie, it's lovely you're joining us today. And I think it's going to be a very special show too, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've had a look at all the things, this military wife, the whole, the singing and everything about it's very, very, it's like you said, Natalie, it just made me cry.
Yeah.
I think the whole emotion, especially at the time we're at now, and it being Remembrance Time and all the marches and everything, really, really did give me a tear. And I thought, oh, pull yourself together. But it it should do, shouldn't it? It should make us feel like that.
Yeah.
And it brings home to you these ladies' lives must be so hard.
Oh, God.
Imagine it's not like bye-bye, darling, see you later. What time are you home for dinner? You just don't know what's going to happen, and they keep getting moved, don't they, from place to place?
Yeah.
Very hard lives.
I mean, it's very interesting, isn't it? Because I don't think a lot of us, a lot of people might never have seen all of the wonderful Trooping with the Colour until we had TV, to show it, colour TV and stuff like that. And then when that was started to be shown in sort of like 60s, late 60s, early 70s and 80s, when you could, like the royal wedding, then you actually saw the glamour of our royalty. Which
Nobody does it like us.
Nobody does it.
It's incredible, isn't it?
It's just incredible.
We are world renowned for it. We're the only people.
All other countries seem to show their missiles and their artillery and their guns, but we don't. We show the people behind all that. The pride. I get very proud of.
My first husband, one of my husbands. John used to stand literally, if there was anything on like that, anything to do with the troops or anything, he'd always used to stand up, always. And then he would just be sobbing. I mean, it's just the tears would roll down his face saying, we are so special. We've got such a wonderful country.
Oh, I was crying watching the Royal Albert Hall and everything on the Sunday, all those lovely old veterans marching. I was crying non-stop. Unbelievable. It's just incredible.
Yeah, I think we forget sometimes that, about our country. We have so many amazing things, and we're so lucky and privileged to be British. And, you're not allowed to say that sometimes, are you? But I'm saying it.
No, it's true. It's really true. But we are of an age, I think, collectively.
Yes.
Collectively, we must be 195.
But I mean, everything from my childhood was to do with the pomp and ceremony and feeling that gorgeous feeling inside of thinking, how lucky are we to be British? How lucky are we to have all of this? We've got sovereignty, very few countries in the world, and we embrace it, or we should embrace it. And I just think it matters so much to so many of us, especially, as I've said, our age group, still so appreciate it. And I hope as people are growing up, I know my kids, I've sort of instilled in my kids about how lucky we are to be British and to have what we've got. I just hope it continues on. I think it's got to. So important for us all to realise why we're wearing the puppy, what happened. Those people gave up their lives for us, for freedom. And it was for freedom.
Well, who have we got coming on today, Dee, to talk about the military wives?
So it's the lovely Michelle, and she's going to talk about all her experiences in the choir and forming a choir and all about the military wives choir.
Hey, hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you. Likewise. Yes.
Thank you. And we've heard all about you and your amazing choir, and you're one of the first people to actually form the military wives choir, weren't you?
Well, not exactly. No, I helped form one in the Falkland Islands, or two choirs in the Falklands.
Yes.
But I joined about 8 years ago, and the choirs were formed about 12 years ago now.
Lovely. I know that the Falklands has been a very big sort of thing for you because of your husband, hasn't it?
It is, yeah. He's a Falklands veteran, and we spent about 3 years in the Falklands. A year posting, came home, and then went back for 2 years. And yeah, it's a brilliant place, a wonderful place to go, and the people are wonderful. Yes.
I mean, it's
People
sad.
are
It's
wonderful.
only it's sad. It's only really known for, you know, for the war, and for some reason I always think of birds when I think of the Falklands.
Well, there's
Penguin.
plenty. Five species of penguins and seals and elephant seals, albatross. A lot of people think it's quite bleak, and they'll say, "What have you got to do there?" But honestly, the islanders are the most resilient people. There's all sorts of fantastic things going on down there. But when we did arrive down there, there wasn't a choir when I first went in 2019, and I met a really lovely friend, a choir friend, and we formed the choir together there. And it was brilliant.
Debbie Paver, but Debbie,
I've been, yeah. I've been to the Falklands. Yeah, I went last year. Absolutely magical. What an amazing place, the other side of the world, yet so British
Yes,
and
yeah.
so patriotic. I was just
Very.
amazed at
Yeah.
the patriotism that we wane, I think, a lot in our country now, but they've got it in bucket loads.
Yeah.
And we loved it there, and everything was so British. Margaret
Yeah.
was everywhere.
Yes.
Because they actually adore her, and they love the whole military thing and the whole the as was the Queen, but the King and everything is so important to them, and I think it's just so refreshing. I loved it. You said bleak, yeah, get bad weather, but the views and the people, the warmth.
A great place. And what was brilliant for me, being in the Military Wives Choir, is that we had the support of, because I'm in Warminster Military Wives Choir in England, and they supported me in the Falklands, which was great, by supplying music for us so that we could sing all the Military Wives Choir songs. The foundation, the CST, the central office of the Military Wives, also would have Zoom calls with us to help us form the choir. And the locals, as you say, are just so very pro-British. We went to everything. We sang, I mean, at the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Sadly, when she died, we were there, so we sang services for her. And when the King was proclaimed, you know, we were a few of us were at Government House just to see that. So we were very fortunate, and 8,000 miles away, ladies, to have the choir was just a real comfort to all of us, which was great.
How many choirs actually are there? Because I think quite a lot of people think it's just one choir, but there are lots of you all over the country, aren't there?
Yeah, there's 70 choirs in the UK and abroad. So the great thing about it is that about the network is that I was in Canada in the summer, and I went to the Alberta choir there and sort of said, "Hi, I'm in Canada, come along, we have a sing." And the great thing is we have this this repertoire of music that we all sing. Different choirs do sing different things as well, but you can go along to a choir anywhere and you know that at least one song that you'll be able to join in with straight away, and lots of them are familiar. So they recognise us. Obviously, we have our little T-shirts, we've got our logo. One of my friends, she's in Gibraltar on holiday this week, and she popped into their Military Wives Choir, and it was their 5th birthday, which was a result because they had champagne and cake. She was lucky.
how
How amazing. I suppose it keeps your community of wives very much together.
Yeah.
I mean, how often do you have to suddenly get up and go? Is it sudden sometimes, or do you have quite a big build up to it?
Yeah, it depends on which service you're in, because the Military Wives have got the wives from the three services. And my husband was in the Royal Air Force. He's recently retired after 43 years. So, you know, it's a big chunk when you have to move around. But the postings can be 1 to 2 years. But the thing is, when you move to somewhere new, say particularly the Falklands or something, you know, you arrive in a house, you haven't got your things around you. And then the husband goes, "Oh, I'm off to work now," and you're left in the house. And this one day on the Falklands, it was really windy because nobody's ever known wind like the Falklands. And the house, because it's made of wood, literally shook. And my husband did phone me at home and he went, "Are you okay?" Because I wasn't used to that. But it means that there's an instant community. So I can go along and they understand. So they understand if you're lonely, that you've arrived new, you've got no friends, you've got no family, and they become your family, which is lovely.
What are the most important things that you unpack which make you instantly feel it's my home?
Apart from your knickers. Or not.
I always travel with extras. Really, I've got a little pink tea set that's gone around different postings, and I always sort of get that out. And it's a little bone china that I just bought in a charity shop, but so cute. But that makes me feel at home, and I think sort of cushions and pictures and things like that. So that's quite nice to have a yes.
How lovely, because music is a great sort of, but it unites people, doesn't it, Michelle?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Ella Fitzgerald said there's only one better thing than singing, and that's more singing. And you feel better. And the great thing about the Military Wives Choir is we're an unauditioned choir. So the prerequisite is that you have your military connection and just go along and sing. And people say to me, "Oh, I can't sing." And I can tell you something, some people are right, they can't sing, but good thing is you always get better. You never get worse because the more you practice. And it really is just an inspirational thing to do, really.
We should start a Wonderbirds choir.
Good, shouldn't we?
Well, I'm leaving now.
Or a Pavers choir.
Well, I've got kids that can sing like birds. I mean, seriously can sing. And I think what happened, it missed a generation, because I'm absolutely useless. I can hold a tune, but I can't sing.
No.
It's like fingernails on a blackboard. But
Oh,
the kids are absolutely brilliant. But yeah, Pavers, why not? Shall I enlist? I don't know how many recruits I'd get, but I could have a go.
Yeah.
Definitely. We'll join, won't we, girls?
Yes.
It's very quiet.
Count us in.
These boots are made for walking.
Yeah, that's the
Okay,
one.
Nancy Sinatra. Yeah, there's quite a few shoe songs which we could do. Yeah.
Yes, sexy boots.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's a great idea.
Yeah. When you're in the military and you travel all over the place, I mean, you've got to have all sorts of shoes.
Yeah.
Let's be practical here.
Get them
Yeah.
together. Military Wives and Pavers. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, why not?
We
Why
will.
not? We'll be in touch after this.
Definitely. Definitely. I have to say,
We've just had our period. Well, we're going through our period of remembrance at the moment, so we're on parade a lot of the time and having to stand, an hour or so, and so you shuffle about. But the beauty of a comfortable shoe, makes all the difference to the singing.
It puts a smile on your face, doesn't it? Because I don't think you can actually stand for long in uncomfortable shoes. It makes you grimace, and you just can't wait to get them off.
And
Yeah.
many years ago, when I was, I don't know which soap, but I think it was Coronation Street, and I arrived with my sort of 5-inch heels on or whatever as a character, not as and they were all behind the bar and they were all wearing slippers, which is where I was, and they went, "You have to do it this way." And they said, "But you now have been seen in those shoes, so you'll have to wear them all the time." And I did. And I was so upset because realistically, if I'd have gone in flatties to start with, my height would have been smaller and then I could have got away with slippers. But as it happened, my height was bigger. So then that was it.
You had to stay that height.
I had to stay that height. And I was going, between takes, I was going, "Oh my God, my feet."
Oh, Michelle, what did you think about the film Military Wife? Were you really, were you over the moon about that?
Well, it was an interesting. It's an interesting question actually, because I think a lot of us, to start off with, were a bit anxious. How's this going to go? Because this is our life.
Yeah.
But we all thought actually it was a wonderful film. The other thing that happened was the director of the film actually lived on the camp with with the military wives. That sounds a bit funny, but he lived there, so he was able to sort of interpret and understand what was going on. And in fact, we all had a chance to be in the film, which was great. So at the end, you'll see little text, little tiles, Love Actually style, and every choir in the world was there. So you'll see our little bit. We're dancing with, when I was in the Falklands, we were dancing with penguins. So the brief was wear a nice little summer dress, and we were saying to London, well, actually in the Falklands in June it's like middle of winter, so we have to wear our bubble hats. So we but yeah, it was a great film, and I thought it was very sensitively portrayed, you know, our situation.
Yes, I did. But it was fabulous.
Yes. So we've actually got a little social next week, because at Warminster, because we've got a lot of new ladies joined just recently, and we're going to watch the film all together. But and we know all the songs, and we also made an album. The Military Wives Choir made an album from the film of all the songs, and we sing those songs regularly at concerts. And
you ever thought of doing a naked choir?
It's been suggested a few times.
It's only because we've just done Calendar Girls. I was thinking about that. Natalie and I have just done Calendar Girls, so I was just thinking, you know, the naked Military Wives Choir, but I think that might not go down that well.
In a calendar form would be good. Yeah. It's a still.
I think it came out
standing there dancing. What are you going to do with your, you know, if you've got something in front of you to cover your, you know, lift your arms up and do this.
Christmas carols in front of us.
Sorry, Nat, what were you saying?
I said we had Christmas carols in front of us.
Yeah,
that was all we were wearing, was a song sheet, and then the other one was I had my little boobies in teapots, and Debbie had hers. Hers had a bit of action to them. What did you have? Very musical.
I had metronomes.
Oh, that was brilliant. It was so good. I've looked at the videos. Fantastic. Your video's fantastic, isn't it?
Are we showing it, Dee? Are we showing it?
Yes, we're going to show it. We will show it at the end.
It made me cry. It was so
yes.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's so good. So lovely. Very, very haunting.
Yeah. November Sunday. It had the same impact on me as well, because I knew like the singing was going to be fantastic. The band, I mean, we get to sing with, you know, fabulous bands like the Band of the Household Cavalry, the Royal Marines, you know, and that sound is just absolutely stunning. But the thing that absolutely got me was the band and the girls singing, and then the royal proclamation came over in the middle of the video, and this is just a wonderful warm moment in that song, because although we're celebrating the King's birthday when he was born, it paid homage to him, but also to our late Queen Elizabeth. And our late Queen Elizabeth was a military wife, and she understood us, because, you know, she was, you know, she went off on postings and things. I'm sure her packing probably arrived a little bit quicker than ours did, you know, a few months afterwards, but
I'm sure she didn't have to unpack either. Or pack.
Well, to be fair, I don't think I did a lot of unpacking, because the packers did it for me. So but there was a mixture of both. But it was such a poignant moment on the video where the girls were singing, the band was playing, and the proclamation from when the King was actually born, the actual proclamation was played. And the words, and at that point, this was so poignant, because the Queen was just at that point simply a mother, like, you know, many of us, sort of just having given birth. There was joy and hope at that new birth. And that absolutely got to me, because, you know, we love the Queen and we love the King. And the King also sent us a lovely, lovely letter to say how much he enjoyed our sort of tribute and the importance of singing. So we're thrilled with it, and we're thrilled that he likes it. And also it was something different for us to sing, because we do sing quite a lot of sad songs because of the nature of what we do. We sing a lot of remembrance. We do a lot of commemorations. You know, when I was in the Falklands, we did a lot of commemorative service because of the war. So for us to sing this song, it's just a joyous thing to sing. And I don't know, for me, I was brought up by my grandmother, and my grandmother was one of 13, so I had a lot of great aunts who had an input into my upbringing. So I always joke and said I had an Edwardian childhood in the 1960s. So I remember, you know, that old gramophone that you'll sort of see, the old radio, flickering lights, and some of those sort of old things. And that those foggy nights, do you remember those as children? Because it was smoggy, wasn't it? It was because the of the fire, the real fire, before the real fire, sort of the Smoke-Free Act came in. And it just really evoked all of that for me. So
and when you think about how life has changed in those 50, 60 years, I mean, it changed to something that's actually not even comprehensible.
No.
You know, if I would have said to my grandma, you know, you'd be having conversations like this, you know, doing all of this, flying off, doing this here and there, I think she would have just, you know, people would have laughed at you, wouldn't they, really?
I thought about that so much last weekend. I was glued to the Albert Hall and the celebrations there, and then the whole of the next morning, everything that was on the TV, I was just thinking about that all the time, that, you know, the passing of time and what a short time it is and how much has changed. And you look at those old boys in their red uniforms, in their wheelchairs, some of them walking with walking sticks, and it just, I'm cracking up now. It just made me
beautiful,
emotional, and
so proud.
So proud.
Yeah. We spent a lot of time over the last few weeks. We've been poppy concerts. We were at I was in Frome at a parade for my husband. We then sang at Warminster. We do a lot of those sorts of commemorations, and the veterans in particular are really appreciative that we recognise them and sing for them. And I've got a friend in the Falklands who sort of laughed, and I said, "Oh, we're coming to the cathedral to sing on Remembrance Sunday." And she said, "Oh, I wish you wouldn't." And I went, "What do you mean?" She's, "Because you always make me cry." And so I think she meant it in a nice way. But
well, listen, we are going to play your wonderful single now. Thank you so much for joining us. You are inspirational, and we've all loved every minute. So would you like to announce it, Michelle?
Well, can I just wish the King a very happy birthday, a joyous and a blessed birthday. And I hope that you spend it with those people who love you and you love them. God bless you, sir. And this is November Sunday in homage to our dear King. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Isn't that brilliant?
Beautiful.
Really lovely.
Oh, well, happy birthday, Your Royal Highness.
Yes, happy birthday,
Happy
birthday.
Charles.
Happy
See you
birthday.
soon.
And lovely Debbie Paver, thank you so much for joining us and being a Wonderbird
Pleasure.
again.
It's been lovely. Lovely to see you again. So
Thank
short
you.
time. A few
Come
days
back
ago.
soon.
It was lovely.
Right,
Time to fly.
Bye.
bye.
Bye.